Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Pulling Around Show. Today we have a very special guest, Rodney the Rocket Morris, American pool player, Hall of Famer, Moscone MVP player, 8 times on the Moscone Cup. Okay, now I got to go to the list. Sorry.
11 times.
11. Excuse me.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
outdated.
Uh,
Is there anything you haven't won?
But there is uh three that I don't remember. So yeah, I guess maybe eight sounds better. No, uh, I don't know. I'm not. Uh,
I don't
I'm not.
see an event here that you haven't won.
96,
Uh,
96 U.S. Open.
That's right.
yeah,
Uh,
9 ball. Yep.
After not
2000,
playing for 5 years.
No, that's the one I won. Before I went away,
Okay.
I beat Efren. That's my first year on tour. I won Puerto Rico. Then the next week I won U.S. Open 9 ball.
and then what year did you win non-ball derby?
Shoot, I'm not sure.
2000.
Early 2002 or three or four, something like that. Early on, and then I won the first Fat Boy Challenge at 10 ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good Fat Boy, the 10 footer or whatever.
So
I mean,
you've been on how many winning Moscone Cup teams?
Oh, shoot, I'm not sure. Shoot, we lost towards the end a lot, everyone. But my first 4 or 5 years we never lost.
That's
So
what it looks like because it just
yeah.
shows wins here 2003,
Okay.
2004, and 2005.
Yeah. 2006, I think we won. We tied, but we retained the cup. So that was
and what year were you MVP?
2004.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, 2002, my rookie year, 2003 in Vegas was um I had the most wins on our team and we won. But Mika, they gave it to Mika, the MVP. So they were like, yeah, this don't seem right to give the losing team the MVP. So they
No.
changed it. They changed it the next after that the next year that I won it. But so I told Mika, I said, you got to give me that MVP back, dude. You wasn't supposed to get that one.
So what are you up to these days?
Oh, nothing. Just working and creating another business, and then I'm playing. I'm gonna open up a. We're buying a house up here in Rome, Georgia. I'm in Atlanta, and we're moving up an hour north to Rome. On the 15th of November, we close, and then I'm gonna get a metal building, and I'm gonna get a 5x10 and a 5x10 table and a 9 footer gold crown that I have, and put it in there. So I'm gonna have two tables in there, and I'm gonna do a um, podcast at YouTube and all that and stuff. Do some virtual lessons, and I do a lot of teaching now, but most of the places over here they have smoking in it, and I don't like. Some of my students, they don't like the smoking, and I don't like it either. It
No.
bothers me too much. And then I'm going to be an hour away from here, so it'll be more closer to like right there in the North Alabama, Tennessee, right border right there. So it'll be, get a whole different clientele. So, but yeah, we're just plugging away. I'm starting to play again, hitting some more balls. I just put a couple those Copini, the Cole brothers, they have their tips, pool tips. So I just put a couple of those on, and I was hitting balls today actually, and I like them. It's pretty good tips, yeah.
So the fire's still there.
Yeah, I always love to practice. So I can practice, forever. So I like playing. It's just the tournament scene kind of drains me, like sitting around 4 or 5 hours waiting to play and all that. That's the part where it just, after about a day or two of that, and I'm like, yeah, I can't. I want to go golf. I want to go hang out, do something different, something fun. It just drags on you. But I'll play some tournaments every once in a while. But now when I play, it's going to be something that I really want to be there. I just felt like playing, not like, oh, I got to go chase points or I got to go, whatever, so I got to eat, this kind of stuff. So, but now like, if I'm going, that I just wanted to hit balls. I just wanted to be in the scene, and mix it up. That's all.
It
When
turns into
you're
work, doesn't it?
The what?
It turns into work, doesn't it?
Yeah, after a while, you're like, man, what am I doing here, sitting around here for? But it's like, do I need to win another title? Do I need, that you check off all the boxes that you used to have to, the reasons why you were playing before, and then when they aren't there anymore, you're like, okay, what am I really doing here right now? Somebody's gonna go eat. I said, where you guys gonna eat at? I know I got a match in 20 minutes, but you know.
well, how do you keep your attitude so high and you're one of the most likable people in the game of pool, if not the most likable guy. Anyway, I don't know about the female side,
Thank
but
you.
that's not an accident. So you want to tell us a little bit about how you
uh,
connect with people and make them feel?
I just, well, I was raised with, my mom, my grandma, we, the basically, you know, they, we're raised with women, so it's kind of, I just, they always want me to do the right thing and, treat people the right way. And then when I first came on the scene, when I was 16, 17, first started playing pool, I gravitated to the older guys. They were all in their 40s. So I'm taking, all my advice and everything from them. And then a lot of the things that Hawaiian Brian told me, rest in peace to him. He, basically told me, you're going to come on the scene and you're going to play pool and you're going to represent Hawaii. You're going to represent me. He said, you got a lot on your shoulders. He said, don't be going around giving us a bad name. So I never wanted to, and I never wanted to be that. I always looked at people that, when you see guys playing matches and they're slamming stuff and throwing, so I did that when I first 6 months or a year when I played. Then I realized, that doesn't look good. It doesn't, we all want to do that. We're all trying hard, but what is somebody gonna take away from that? Are they gonna take away that, man, this guy's brutal to watch, or man, that game looked fun. The guy was pretty cool, nice to watch. And then when after a while you take your lumps, you play good players and you're gonna lose a lot. And then it's like you learn more about people, how they take losses. It's like, yeah, I don't want to play that guy. He starts losing, he starts cheating you or doing something and throwing stuff, and then he makes you feel bad. Like, damn, I'm trying to win too, somebody's got to win, right? But, so I was like, nah, what, just shake their hand, good shooting, and that's it, Behind the scenes, you can do all your stuff that, you want to do, throw stuff, kick stuff, call the guys names, but you don't have to do it in public or, because people are watching, especially if you have any kind of fan base, they see that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, what do you want them to think about you or say about you? It's like, so are you a good sport? You a bad sport? You're always smiling. You making people smile, or you bringing. And Brian used to tell me one thing I used to do when I was younger. When I got out of line, I got out of shape or something, or I messed up a shot, and I'm running out, and I get bad in a bad spot, and I shake my head no, and he says, don't do that. He said, shake your head yes. Even if it's bad, just like, like, because it just creates that positive energy. That no is, and they said, don't be slumping, like that. When you're in waiting, get up and get ready. It's like that body language means a lot too. So I always feel like, don't you notice every time when you're playing good and everything's rolling, you're just happy. Everything's, nothing can go wrong. It's like everything's fine. It's gonna work out great. If
I
you
think it's
always have
opposite
that,
of that. I think it's
yeah, there's
I
a
think
lot
it's
of
when I'm having fun, everything goes my way. When I'm not having fun or
yeah.
not,
No, that's what I mean. If you're the one having fun, everything just rolls, right? Everything just, you just like you're creating your own roles. So I always like, like, hey, anytime. I've come back so much. Like in the early 90s, I had so many matches. I'm down 8-0, 10-0, and I come back and I win the match. And they're like, man, how come you felt like you were just practicing, like nothing mattered. I was like, yeah, I just wanted to finish strong, end up, catching the rolls and winning at the end. But just want to keep playing. Sometimes the guys play and they never give you a shot. One of my best matches I played, well, I didn't play. I lost the flip to Dennis Hatch one time. I think it was 1993 or 94 in Bicycle Club in LA. He broke and ran the set out. We ran 9 racks and out on me. I never shot. All I did was lag or flip, and then I shook his hand. And that was just a cool match to watch. I'm like, yeah, I was like, yeah, you never got a chance to shoot. What are you gonna do? So, but
okay.
then
I got a question that's come from somebody else, but what is it about left-handed players versus right-handed players like yourself? Why do they play faster and look more natural? What is that about?
Ooh, I know I heard that somewhere. I was like, I don't know. I mean, because I really don't know what the answer to that one. Somebody said that our brains think differently. Like they're I know. Well, Earl is right-handed, and Earl thinks like me fast and plays like that. So he's like he loves playing with me. He said, you're the best partner I ever had. He said we just no messing around. We just boom 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 boom. We don't sit there thinking we know what to do and we just do it. So I
Well,
don't know. I think
he's a genius. I don't think it matters what hand I'm talking about just your physical performance. Like, I can name 5 top left-handed players, and they seem to be the best shooters, including you.
Yeah, I don't know. I just well, I really love Mizrak. Mizrak was, I watch his, compact stroke. I like, that little, shorter bridges and all that. But I don't know. Brian just told me years ago, just watch the cue ball. You master that cue ball, and so I'm always thinking about what the cue ball is doing. So if you watch me play when I'm running out, when I make a shot and the cue ball's rolling around, my eyes don't leave the cue ball until it stops. I watch it all the way around the table and then it stops because I'm trying to get a certain place. So then I'm kind of gauging my speed, right? Did I hit my speed right? Did I hit, so I don't know. I don't really know what that part is. I don't know.
That's when you look full stalker mode, when you're just stalking the cue ball, walking the floor. You can't see anything, just eyes locked in on the ball.
Oh yeah. Yep. Then it's fun, man, when the cue ball's on a string, right?
Can you do anything right-handed?
Chalk.
Chalk?
That's it.
Chalk
That's
right-handed?
it. Yeah. Chalk. Yeah. Sometimes I miss on the chalk too. Sometimes nothing. I can't do anything. Make my bridge, obviously. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So, how did you get started playing pool?
Was playing foosball when I was young. We used to love to play foosball when I was like 12 until about 16. And then right before I turned 17, we were in Hawaiian Brian's in Honolulu. And we were just waiting. It was a long line to play at Hawaiian Brian's to play foosball. So my two buddies, my two friends, Joe and Brian, we were just looking at the pool tables. And then I was like, you guys ever play pool? We said, no. I said, well, we're going to wait 2 hours over here. Let's just, let's go play. And we're just kids, right? We don't have no money, so we're playing cutthroat. That's the game we all seem to know, right? And we played for 25 cents, each, right? And the winner, would win 50 cents. And then about $4 later, that both of them didn't want to play pool with me. I was like, they said, dude, you know how to play? How you know how to play so good? I said, I just started just like you. I said, we both just came here and played. I said, I didn't know anything. And that's when I was like, I never played foosball again after that, by the way. I was like, dude, this game is fun. I said, I like this game. So that's how it started. I just was if it didn't I don't know if they didn't have a long line that day and the foosball, I probably would still be playing foosball or something. Yeah.
Can you remember your first cue?
Well, there's a difference. I always just, the ones off the rack. I used to always take that and then hide them and make sure, I marked it, But then the first one that I bought was I think it was $150 Hubler. So it was yeah, and then I think I had like a $300 Sean after that, and yeah, then after that I started playing real good, for about a year and a half, and then I had a Southwest, but Southwest was $400 that time. And it was so it was like
Don't you wish you would have bought like 100 of them for 400?
we had about 10 or 15 of them I bought because we were using them all as break cues at the time. And yeah, and then one day my tip went bad on my cue, and then I thought like I'll just play with my break cue. And then I started playing with it, and I'm like, man, this thing hits great. So then we started using them as regular cues. Like nobody thought about it. We just thought it was break cue. That's funny. But by 1990, so I was playing for 4 years, 1990, or no, 80, yeah, 1990. That's when I got my Zamboni, Barry Zamboni from Barry. So I was already, using expensive cues by then. Then I was spoiled.
Okay, fast forward to 1996 when you win the U.S. Open 9-ball, the event that's happening this week in Atlantic City. Where was it at? Was it in Atlantic City?
No. It was in Virginia, Chesapeake, Virginia. It was the one and only time it had it at that pavilion, wherever it was. There was only one time they had it there. And so the week before, I was playing in Puerto Rico. That was the first time they had it over there. The PBTA tour and Camel later, but it was RJ Reynolds, and it was on Prime Sports. So if you made it to the Final Four, then it becomes single elimination, and then you're on TV. Well, my first match was Efren because I wasn't seeded that time. I just come in on the scene in the tournaments, and So my first round was Efren. He was a number one seed. So I played, and then my buddy Tony Catucci, who's RIP, he passed away too, but he told me, I said, he said, I looked at the draw. I said, you got to play Efren. This is only me talking to him in the hotel room because no cell phones that time, right? So I called him. I said, yeah, I play Efren first round, and he goes, just play smart, son. He said, just play tough. He said, don't. I said, and good news. He said, he's the number one seed. I said, so after you beat him, you're gonna get all his easy matches that he had. You're gonna be the number one seed now. So then you're gonna have his bracket. So I played good. I beat him, and then had some good matches or whatever. But now, um, I'm in the semifinals, and I'm playing Bustamante, and he's got me 9-5. It was race to 11. He's got me 9-5, and he plays a shot. He leaves me a safety, right? And he freezes a cue ball in the diamond in the back rail here, and he plays a safe. He leaves the object ball by the spot, and there's two balls here, and he leaves a window. So all I can see is the object ball here, and I got to hit it with a lot of pace and come around like three rails, and I'm down 9-5, and then I pump it in, and I run out the set, and I beat him 11-9 to go to the finals, and then in the finals I'm down 6-1 against Leonardo Handam, and I win 11-7. That was my first major. So now we go to that Chesapeake the very next week, and now I'm on a high already. I'm winning, like, I forget, it was race to 13, I think, in the beginning. 13-0, I beat first guy, and then won. And I played Jeff Carter, a tough match, and I beat him. Semifinals, it's Nick Varner, and it's 9-9, and Nick shoots opposite handed, and he hangs a ball, and he leaves me a real thin cut all the way up the table, and I made it, and I broke around out. So now I'm in the finals against Efren. So last week, the week before, I beat him first round. Now the finals, I'm with him in the next week, and Frankie Hernandez. We go outside right before the finals, and we're all outside. Some guys are smoking. Must have 50 Filipinos out there, and Spanish Mike LeBron. And Frankie goes, "Anybody want to bet? I'll take the kid." And then it was so super quiet. Everybody got quiet, and then he said, nobody want to bet. He said, you got Efren Reyes. He said, he's been in the finals. He's the best in the world against this kid from Hawaii. He don't even know nothing. This coconut head. He said, nobody wants to bet on him, on Efren. And he said, Efren, you got to fire all these guys. He told them, he said, nobody wanted to bet. And then I ended up robbing him 11-6 or something like that. But it was funny. I was playing so good. You could just see everything was dialed in. It was too good. Yeah. It was, but I was playing all the time too, and playing for a lot of money all the time. So I was tough as nails. Yeah.
Who was
Well,
your
can you-
who
Go
was your
ahead.
biggest influence playing pool?
Well, Brian, of course, he taught me, but the guy Tony Catucci out of New Jersey, I was based out of there from 1990 to 96, and every year I would go out there and stay with him for 2 months, and so everything he learned, he learned from Brian. But and so we went around the country, and I don't think I lost a match for 5 years, and but I was coming up the right way. I wasn't playing, the guys that, like when I first went. I remember I was based out of Philly for a little while, or going there a lot, South Philly. Flakes and all those guys were playing Petey Fusco, but I couldn't play Petey the first year, and I would play the other guys. John Hennigan was Cornflakes, and those other guys, all the lower guys. And Petey, I remember the first year Petey told Tony, after I played and I won. I was played like $2,000 sets, and I used to beat those guys. And then he tells Tony, if that kid beats me, he said, I'm jumping off my roof. Well, the next year he go, and I said, no, I can't play you, Mr. Petey. You're too good. And then I played all the other guys. Well, after 3 years, the third year we go back, and now those guys don't want to play, so I got to play Petey now. So I'm playing him, and then I beat him. And then Tony says, Petey, you said if his kid ever beats you, you got to jump off the roof. He's like, I never said that. So I used to play him all the time too. He used to empty out the cash register. He's a great guy, though. I love Petey, but I was playing, playing really good back when out there on the real tight tables too. So it's It's good. But yeah, there was so many guys up there, up in the New England, with Nicky Vlahos. The Indian was a great player, and that's when Nicky was still a kid. He wasn't really, he was still coming up. He needed like the 7 ball and all that. But he was, I was kind of the, up there. It was shoot, I forget who the guys were. Skippy, Mark Ranson. I was just, nobody really knew me, so I was able to go around there and play up in the east and then down south in the Carolinas. I remember one time I gave Tony Watson the 8 ball, and I didn't know him. Went down there. We're playing for 20,000, and I'm giving him the 8, and we were playing 8 ahead. He breaks and runs out the first 5 racks. And I'm like, I look at Tony, I was like, what's going on here? And then he said, don't worry. So just settle down. And then he made a couple mistakes. And then, sure enough, I got to shoot. I ended up, beating him. But I was like, man, I never seen nobody with that kind of firepower. I was like, it looked like me. I'm like, dude, he's like broken around 5 racks in like 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, I said, what's happening here? It was really, really neat to watch, flamethrower guys. I remember one time I played George Breedlove. He was up there in I think it was 92 maybe, and he was up there winning the tournaments up in Rhode Island and Connecticut and all that. And we played during the tournament. We played just $500, eight ahead for 500, and I won. And then right after the tournament, we played another set, eight, for like 1,000. I think I won. And then a couple years, the next year, I seen him somewhere, and I said, "Hey, George, want to play something again?" And then he goes, "No." He said, "I quit gambling after I played you." He said, "I don't gamble anymore." He said, "That's funny." Yeah, I was because sometimes you're sneaking around and then you run into another good player, so you both don't know each other. Back then it was possible. You don't know of each other, and it's just in the beginning you guys kind of feeling each other out, then you start playing better. The guy starts playing better. You start playing. The guy start. Next thing an hour and a half, 2 hours later, you're both playing your best, and but you guys both started out stalling. It's funny.
Can we fast forward to the Mosconi Cup? And I want to know from you the difference in the current Mosconi Cup versus, let's say, 2003 Mosconi Cup. 20 years difference.
Ooh, yeah, 20 years already. Wow.
Yeah.
Remember, like it was yesterday. Wow. Yeah. So that is 20 years. Holy smokes.
Since your first one that you won.
Yeah. So in 1997, January of 97, uh, Don Mackey called. He was the one running the Pro PBTA Tour in 96. So Don Mackey calls me, and I didn't know anything about Mosconi Cup that time. Still, early, and he said, and I was ranked number 6 on the tour. I missed the last couple events, but I still made it. And that time it was a top 6 rank automatically go. So he calls me and then he says, Rodney said, there's a tournament in, it's a team event, and you technically qualified to play in this team event. It's called the Mosconi Cup. And he said, but Kim Davenport is like ranked 7th, you're ranked 6th. So technically, you can get in, but that's all Kim's buddies and all, So basically, he never told me the details. He just told me some team event and made like it was no big deal. So he said, "Would you let your buddy Kim take your spot?" I said, "Oh yeah, I don't know anything about that. Yeah, go ahead." So technically, I was supposed to have been on in '97, but I got talked out of it, right? So, but I would have probably let Kim anyway, to get in. But so fast forward now, 2003. I get in and it's in Vegas. But the difference between that time, it was race to 5, alternate break, 1 on the spot. Everybody's breaking from the side rail, and everybody's making the corner ball. So it's basically it went whoever won the lag is basically breaking hill, right? It's like boom, break and run out, break and run out, break and run out, break and run out. So every match is like 5-3 or 5-4, and it was basically whoever blinked first, whoever dogged it was the one that lost, because everybody know you got to break and run out, because the next guy's going to break and run out. And my first 4 years, Europe always blinked first. They always dogged it. They always something happened and they dogged it, and we were the ones that won the hill all the time. Well, 2006, I think it was 2006. Yeah, my fourth year, 2006 or 2007 might have been Vegas. Um, the I think it was Luke Riches or somebody came and they told Johnny, "Hey, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this competitive? Because you guys just win every year." So Europe's just coming here for a vacation. I said they got no chance. He said, how can we, what can we do to give Europe a chance? And then Luke came up with the idea, well, let's put the nine on the spot. And, because that's how they play in Europe, right? So then, and then see if it makes it, more fair or whatever. Well, it did, and we tied. We didn't win, we tied that year. And we were all confused with the cut break. Nobody knew nothing about that cut break. So then Johnny says, he told me, he said, well, next year we'll just get it back, the one back on the spot. Well, they never did put it back on the spot. They wouldn't do it. They said, no, we want it like this. So that's how the beginning of the Europe, catching up came. They had to move where the break. They had to move the break so they had the advantage on the break. And you see how it's been going, right? That cut
What
break.
about the coaching? Who was the coach back then in 2000? And
They didn't have no coach. It was just captain. It was always a playing captain, you know, like Nick was a playing captain, and then Johnny was captain. After that is when they made a coach, actual separate coach. Yeah, it was always like the captain was the basically the coach or whatever, but they didn't. I don't know what year they made the actual separate coach. Well, because after that we started losing every time because we couldn't figure out the break, and then all of a sudden we need a coach.
a great coach.
It's like, yeah, all of a sudden we needed a coach because you guys changed the rules on us, so we need a coach now because we can't play anymore. That was great. I was like, so that's the real story of how that cut break and the nine on the spot came about. So if you see all the matchroom events, it says they want to make sure that doesn't change because they go back to where everybody's hitting them and breaking and running a bunch of racks, like parking that cue ball, you can see different results. They like exactly how it's going. Yeah. Yeah. But dang, 20 years ago. That's
Been a while.
I must be in my 30s by now. Jeez.
You're not done. You're not done.
No, man. Yeah, I'm playing on a real super tight diamond right now. Dirty old cloth is like anywhere I go is gonna feel easy. Yeah. Figuring out the break on the 10 ball a little bit. Yeah, I'm going actually next week. I'm going to a 10 ball tournament in Levittown, Pennsylvania. It's just, yeah, 10. Somebody invited me, but I'm doing what I do now is I do teaching, during, before and like the day after.
What
So
do, what do most of your sessions look like? How long are they? What do you usually do? What's a normal one like?
it just depends on what the owner of the place or the customers want, the people there. So they get a vibe. Whoever's putting it on, they talk to the people, that are going to enter, or join and see how they want to do it. Sometimes we do 10 people, 4 hours, and I found 4 hours is plenty. Yeah, I can stay 8 hours. I can stay all day, but people get burnt out after 4 hours. I don't care who you are. Getting that much info and lessons is people. The students get tired. They can't handle that much. You need to go take a break and do something. That's just too much info for them. So we do it like that, or sometimes I do individual lessons and just keep going back to back to back. But I like to do multiple people at once because if we do two tables, I can share something with somebody, they can work on it, share something with the other person, they work on it, they can apply it right there rather than me constantly giving a lot of info. So I find that it's better when it's not one-on-one, even though I do a lot of that. Is when it's not one-on-one, you can apply it right away and then let them, do it for a little bit, and then come back to them and see, yeah, that work out for you. So when you do one-on-one, a lot of times you tell them, might hit a shot or see you hit it, but they don't get time to digest it and really, execute it. So I like to teach. If I'm doing one-on-one, I like to do like 2 hours at least. that way you can see them execute it and actually get the feel of it.
Well, we want you here in Oklahoma to do some coaching.
Yeah, anytime. Just let me know. I'm always visiting Vernon in Kansas, so yeah, don't take much for me to go in his basement and get lost in there and hit balls. So anytime. Yep, just let me know.
Do you play much one pocket?
No, that's I don't. Yeah, Greg Hogan wanted to play. He's like, I never gambled. I never played anybody one pocket. So I played a tournament, obviously, and then the Derby City, but no, that's not for me. It's not. I don't. Yeah, I remember I was telling you I don't like to sit around and wait around a lot. Yeah, that's the ultimate waiting around game.
What about straight pool?
Ugh, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, no, and I'm not a fan of that one. Yeah, where I came up with my own all offense games. Well, you know the games, so
Around.
yeah, those are good games when everybody gets to shoot. It's just you can. I mean, I don't know how guys. I mean, the straight pool guys, they like it. I guess you like it if you're the guy doing all the shooting, but somebody can just go over there and shoot, 250 balls, and you're watching. It's like, can I go somewhere and just let me know when you miss or something or like that? That's like
We need one of those pagers like at the restaurant where it vibrates and lights up when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
when your
Rodney, your
table's
table's
ready, it
ready.
vibrates.
Yeah, that's it. There's certain games that when they went away for a reason. Why are you guys reviving these games? There's a reason that thing went away now.
Hey,
But I guess if you're playing for enough money,
why do you think 8-ball on the pro level has gone away almost?
well, so I mean, so easy, right? There's not, not a lot. All you got to do is just look at the games that we've been playing all these games forever, right? So I always tell people, if you had a product, right, any kind of business, you have a product, and it's steadily declining, less and less interest in the product. At least try to change the product. At least try to make something new. Come up with something. Somebody had to sit down and come up with that game. So why can't somebody sit down and come up with it? Or maybe the same guy that invented it? Like, dude, if you're still alive, can you come up with something different? Like that's why I came up with those all offense games, because when you think about golf, bowling, darts, any game that you shoot your score, well, it does two things, right? One is you have an accurate barometer for statistics. Very, very easy to keep stats on all that, right? And two, you're going to know it's pure, because you're going to know, how you're playing, and how, if you're playing the best. How about this? Somebody I saw post, I don't know, a couple of days ago. So like somebody ran 10 racks or something, right? And the other guy never shot. I'm like, you imagine if you're the fan or the wife of the guy that never shot. Just like, dude, what kind of game is that? You never get to play, But the all offense version, you go to a golf tournament, the guys never say that, right? The guys never say, "Oh man, I went there for 4 days, and my guy never got to even swing a club." So they played exactly the same amount of holes as everybody, and they just played better score. So that's the way we got to do. We got to play pool, I think, where it's got to change. You know why? And the only reason why is because if you can follow it, you can see numbers changing. Like basketball, football. We're gonna watch football tonight. My wife doesn't know anything about how it's kick a field goals and all that stuff. She don't know, but she can see the scoreboard move when something happens. She can follow that. Basketball, the guy shoots the ball, then score moves. Pool, so like, dude, what's the race to? 11? What's the score? You don't see motion. So now when somebody's watching, they're not drawn to it, right? If I sit there and I turn on, I always said, what can we do if we're looking at this TV right now? And I switch, boom, channel 4, channel 8, channel 9, and I see pool. What is going to keep me from going to channel 11? If I'm sitting there watching the guy walk around the table 4 times and then he touches the cue ball and takes a foul, I'm probably not going to watch one pocket ever again. That's not for me. It's not a spectator sport. We need a game that's going to be exciting, that people are going to be drawn to, people are going to watch. I'm talking about not us. We love pool. We're going to watch it all the time. I'm talking about the other 100 million people out there that can provide money for this industry. How are we going to get that person don't know anything about pool and is going to watch it? How can we make
bet
that?
on it? And to bet on it.
That's the next part I was going to get. Because we're able to keep accurate statistics, we're able to create lines. We're coming out in the next couple of months with our fantasy platform, and you're going to see it's going to be really cool. Yeah, you're going to be able to bet on pool. You're gonna be able to bet on all this. You're gonna be like, dude, this is cool. And not only that, you're gonna be able to bet multitude amount of ways. You're gonna be able to bet on stupid stuff like is gonna make more solids on the break, or how many stripes he's gonna make on the break. What is the over under on his miles per hour on the break? Like, yeah, gonna be, stuff like that. If you can do that and you can make those little bets, dude, I will watch. I know, Sean, you will. You're a junkie like me, so you're a pool junkie.
I'm a degenerate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Uh,
Chris, what do you got? I got a few more.
Go ahead.
Okay. Refs in the sport. Should tables all have a ref at pro events? Or what can you say about that? Because you've been around long enough to see it.
yeah, I think so. That's a good. Yeah, you should have. A lot of them are volunteers too. They're not paid a lot of money, so it might be kind of tough to get them. But they're having so many uh players, so many tables going on, so many matches, not enough refs. I think they should. And I understand they need to get, in a certain amount of days, they need to get all these players, through and all this. So I just think maybe they might have too much players in these tournaments. 128, make it 64. And you can have a ref for every table. But figure out, another way to get. I think a healthy touring pros is 64. I think that's with those double elimination brackets or single elimination, 64 is all you need. Look at the snooker guys that only had like 16 or 32. You don't have to, but you take a smaller number and you market the heck out of those guys, make those guys superstars. Right now they need all that volume because what is it? That's entry fees. That's how they can say it's 350,000 purse, or because there's what 130,000 of his entry fees, so like that. Okay, yeah, we'll do $1 million prize tournament, but entry fees are 100,000. Like, okay,
Should there be a unified rule book? I mean, it's just so I know you can't do that. I mean, with APA, because APA is flop, but so like I don't know if you've seen the debacle the other day with Hunter Lombardo and Scott Frost.
well, the shirt, yeah,
The whole shirt deal.
yeah,
The only thing that ruined that for me was the ref listening to the spectator. The spectator shouldn't have been able to say a thing.
yeah, exactly. It's just the player called it. That's it. It's not, you shouldn't. Yeah, but
Because that'd be like me
yeah.
sitting. That'd be like me sitting there watching you play. You're playing 9-ball. You're shooting at the 4, but the 3's still on the table. And me saying, "Hey, Rodney, you're shooting the wrong ball."
That's happened. It's happened many times.
Yeah.
Not right.
That's when you need to be the fan needs to be escorted out.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So what
Talking
do you
about it
think?
in Moscone though, there's like 100 drunk people screaming at every shot.
Yeah. They rough you up. Yeah.
So all ball fouls is what really got it there. If it was just cue
Yeah.
ball fouls,
Yeah, I think that one there with the shirt, thing, I think that's a little bit, I mean, yeah, it's kind of tough because I played with some guys, way bigger than me, and sometimes they're over like their whole belly sitting on all the balls, and we're just playing cue ball fouls only. But so he wouldn't have been able to shoot that shot if he wasn't able to lay on the balls. But I can understand that point too. But just the shirt touching it, especially it's not part of the shot, and it's not gonna disrupt anything. And if I could see if he moved the ball, and then the guy could say, "Hey, you moved it. What, quarter inch? I gotta let me move it back." Like that. But yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, right.
normally when we play, the next question is, okay, do you want me to move it back? Well, that's when we're just playing
Yeah.
cue
Yeah.
ball fouls. What's the rule? Does he get to move it back wherever Scott moved it from?
Yeah.
I bet it didn't move.
Yeah, I don't think it moved. He's just said that the shirt laid on it, I think, or something, right?
Well, the question the ref asks is, how do you know you didn't move it? And that's where I just I was like, what do you mean? How do you know I did?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's a, how do you know he didn't move it?
Yeah.
I know me. I would have been like, well, I know me. I know me. I've thought about the history of my pool playing career, and I just don't move balls.
No.
That would have been me. It's not what I do.
I think it's like golf when the guy's in the woods. He's not supposed to ground his club behind his ball, and if it moves or wiggles or touches his club, well, then he's got to call it on himself.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
someone
yeah,
else sees it, well, he's in big trouble. He's going to get
yeah, yeah.
shunned. But at that point, I think Scott should have. Once Scott said I didn't touch it, that should have been the end of it.
Yeah, yep. That's always been the case. As far as what it's like if I say I didn't touch it and the ref didn't see it, then what are you gonna do?
And how
That's
many
it.
times have you?
I would in that situation, even if I felt like Hunter was, if I was shooting, if I was Scott, even if I felt Hunter was right, I know I would have never called it. So I would just say, no, I didn't touch it because I would have never called. And I've done it many times. Like it's all ball fouls. I did it Turning Stone. I mean, at least 10 times I'm playing people and, their shirt, touch the ball and I see it. I don't like that rule. So, and I know I wouldn't call it. I haven't called it on them. So I would just let them, let it play. And so if somebody called on me, I know I wouldn't have called it on them. So I would just say I didn't touch it because I just know, I wouldn't have called it on them. That's all.
It's no different than the ladies playing and their hair touching the ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Seen that before.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, dude, how is that a significant thing, Yeah. But what are you gonna do? That's a rule is a rule, you can be,
The tie can't go to the sitter.
That's right. That's right.
Come on, man. No way.
I wanted to comment when somebody said it on it, but I don't, I was gonna say it as a joke, but people would take it the wrong way. I was
I
gonna
already pissed
say
off like 5 or 6 people that messaged me. I can't believe you say that. You're making our sport look bad. Hunter's such a good guy. And I was like,
no, I wanted to say, why are you guys worrying about these two guys that can't win the tournament?
oh, that's
No, no, but I like both of them, they're my buddies. But but I wanted to say it like a joke with them, like, dude, that would be a whole nother deal to be killing me. But no. I would have said it would have been better if it was like what do you call Filler and Shaw or Shane or something. And I'll be saying, why are you guys worried about these two guys can't win the tournament, man? You can say it about them because it's not true, but it's funny. Yeah.
all right. I got one more, and this is about coaching.
Okay.
Mental game coaching. We're not talking about your grip and your bridge and your stance. We're talking about your mindset. You talk to us about how your mindset has changed and what you can share with us, what we can do a little better. Just something not too complicated.
Very easy, very easy. The Brian told me this many, many years ago. It was I think I was 2 years in. I was the best player in Hawaii, and it was a big tournament every 6 months they had. It was a race to two, race to two. All the balls are wild handicap tournament, and it was you win. It was 3,500 plus a $1,500 ring for a $60 entry fee tournament, 1 day tournament. So and it was the Aloha Open or whatever, and I'm in the finals, and I'm playing Pat, who was I was giving him the 7 ball and it was race to 2 and first game, well, the finals is race to 3. So first game I run out to the 8, I miss the 9, I hang the 9. Second game I run out, boom boom boom, run out, hang the 7. Third game I run out, hang the 7 again. Like I just dogged all 3 games, right? He won the thing, right? And I was so upset because you don't get the ring for the finals. And then Brian tells me, he said, now you know what it feels like to play when you're in the fog. That's what he said. You're in the fog. And so later on, he told me, he said, that's why you have to learn to play within yourself. And then it took me years, maybe like maybe like 4 years later of all the battles I had and all that. And it wasn't until 4 years later after I won Puerto Rico, I called Brian and I said, Brian, now I know what you were saying about playing within yourself. I finally understood. And what playing within yourself meant was everything that's happening, like outside of you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything that happens outside of you, even if it's a good thought, that's not the right thought. People think good things, think happy thoughts, think, whatever. Because that's not what's happening in the moment. What's happening in the moment is make this ball get shape, and everything else becomes nothing. It becomes a blur. Like when you're watching a movie and you see one guy who's the main character and in the background is blurry, it's like that. Like you're just focused on the main character. That's you. Everything else is happening is all that noise. It's not there. And how you get there is whatever you brought, whatever game you have, and whatever game you've been practicing, you training, or whatever you do normally, that's what you do in the most pressure situation. The same exact thing. You don't change it. You stay true to yourself. So if there's a shot that you always bank, now it's hill and you play safe. Well, that's not being true to yourself. You're not being within yourself, because this is. And if there's a shot that you always play safe, but now your girlfriend's watching and you want to bank this ball and look cool, that's not it either. It's like, dude, that's not the one. You're worrying about outside things. So finding that play within yourself, that's and we've all been there. Sometimes like, no matter what, the biggest one was 2000 and I think it was 2003 in the first Moscone Cup. Charlie Williams was there, and Nick Varner was the captain. He was a playing captain, and the hot guy was Thorsten, right? He was the world champion. He was the hot player, and the very first Europe had beat us every match on Saturday. This is Sunday going into the last day. And we knew they're up 8-6 going to 11. And we knew they were going to bring out their best player. They knew they were going to bring out Thorsten because they want to put us away. They win that first match, we're done, right? We can't, we're not going to win. And so we all knew. So Nick Varner comes up to me and he says, we're figuring out the lineup for today. And he said, would you mind? Would you want to go first? And I was the last one in, that day, and I'm looking at everybody, right? And then I said, hell yeah, I want to go first. I said, I'm going to shoot Thorsten's nuts in. And then you guys are going to come and he's going to win. And we're going to come back and we're going to rob these guys. And they're like, that's what I'm talking about. So we got everybody pumped up, right? And I played this match and nobody or everybody watching the match, including my teammates, everybody watching knew I was going to lose that match. Thorsten was playing great, playing perfect during the match. Now, getting all the rolls, everything was. It was only person that knew I was going to win was me. I knew no matter what, I was not losing that match. I ended up beating him 5-4, and he made a crucial mistake at the end, I think, or I made a great shot. And then Nick Varner comes and tells me, he said, man, he said, you had every reasonable opportunity to just lose that match. Nobody would have said a word. I said, no way, I wasn't losing that match. And then he also told me later, he said, when you came in that day and asked, well, later on that night after we won, he said, when you came in that day and I asked you, would you play first? And then he says, I said, yeah. And he said, well, that was a big relief. I said, why? Because I asked everybody before you and nobody wanted to go first. He said, no. I was like, oh, so I was the last one. I was like, that's good. Yeah. So yeah, that time I wasn't going to be denied. I was just, you just have that feeling, man. You just have it. You just, no matter what, you're in command of your game. No matter what situation, you're going to execute. You're not going to make mistakes. Everything's just feeling, just from playing all the time, putting in the work. That's all.
All right, so play within yourself. That's your mental game tip of the day. I want you to come back tomorrow and give us another one.
That's right. Well, turn into my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go look for me in my YouTube channel soon. I'll come back on and we'll promote that.
That's where you give away all the good stuff for free. And
that's right. Once you guys are hooked, then I charge double. Jay Flowers now. I got my line of cues. It's out $429 retail for the Rockets' personal cues.
Let me see one.
And I don't even have them yet. They just told me today.
They're sold
So,
out.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's right.
There's a wait. There's a back order.
Yeah. Earl's, I
So-
guess Earl's been really good.
Okay,
Earl's,
let me see. Let me see these arms here. You've been working out. Let's see this. You've been
No, the Gundys. They call me Gundy now.
Ooh.
Crocodile Gundy. No,
All
I
right,
haven't been working out.
So here's one question we've been asking all the pros. In the movie Color of Money, okay, if they were to redo the movie,
Mhm.
who would play Fast Eddie and who would play Vince, Tom Cruise's part?
Needs
Oh,
to be.
now, like what?
Yeah, and
what-
they've got to be pool players.
Not an actor
Oh,
like Tom Cruise or Paul Newman, but like Sky and so, or Rodney and so, or
yeah. I don't know, man. Shoot, I don't know who would be the. Yeah, because I don't know. Shoot, I can't even. That's a good one. You get me on the spot on that one. Yeah, I would have to be the.
Yeah, I
the
didn't
guy.
send you that
I would have to
question.
because I got my glasses now. So I got my glasses. I can play the. I can play the guy, the old guy.
Yes. So
Who's a young? Oh, you know what? There's some young. Oh my God, there's some youngsters that play so good now. Um, you know who I really like? I saw him play. He's good. We gotta watch out for him coming up soon. Is Eric Roberts? You know Eric Roberts?
mhm.
Yeah, I like him. Good kid, and yeah, I like the way he thinks, the way his stroke really nice. I like Eric
I heard he hits him right in the middle of the hole.
every time. Yeah. I told him his pockets are real tight. He said, "Yeah, but the middle is still the same."
Who knows? Who knows?
I got my glasses now. It's funny because I use the pool glasses. I can see so clear, but I'm still having the issue with that perception. Like because everything looks so close. So when I shoot a shot, like like a 6, 7 foot shot, and I got to put a little bit of spin, it's moving by the time it gets there because I think it's closer than it is. So I'm not hitting it hard enough because it's moving just
Change your direction.
yeah. So I gotta get used to that. But it looks like 8, 9 foot shots. It looks like it's 5 feet, and I look so close. I'm like, man, this is might be fun again.
And
So
what's your chess rating right now?
ooh, I don't know because every time I play the what 18, 1900 guys, I rob them. So I don't know. So it might be I don't know. But so Efren, I don't know how Efren plays, but last time we played, we broke even. So I don't know. I should be, but he takes long, so that's how he gets me. If we played speed chess, he got no chance. Yeah. I play 3 minute games all the time, and yeah. But Efren is the last few we played in that Iron City. We played chess, and then the last 2 games I beat him, and then it's so funny because when he makes a mistake, and then he's so funny because he gets shocked. He's like he's plays so perfect, then he makes a mistake, and I get him. He go, "Hi!" He goes like, yeah.
Oh,
It's
speaking
really
of that, you were just in the Philippines and you said this is the center of the pool world right now. What do you mean by that?
so they have live betting. So that's what I'm working on right now for us. I've been working the last 3 years, so we're and I know all about it. So but they so you play, right? The matches they play, you play in a match, and it's they're getting ready to go. Well, they're should be getting their international license in November, and they want me to be the guy here in the U.S. But I told them, I said, it's not. Even if you have international license, you got to get licensed in every state, and it's going to be very difficult. You can't for the U.S. is too tough. But what they do is you play. So let's say I played Bustamante. The first one is race to 90, and you play a race to 30 each day. But this is the hard part. It's you're in a room, just you, your opponent, cameraman, and the referee, and it's soundproof. People can see in from outside, but you can't see. You don't have no phones, and you're playing. But every rack, they have different sites at the pool room and different places that they're adding more and more where you can live bet every game. So every rack, no matter who wins the rack, you have to sit and wait 2 minutes. So they have a timer. You see the clock, 2 minutes, and then you break and start the game. So for me, that's very difficult. Sitting down 2 minutes after every rack is like, oh my gosh.
Some of your racks don't last 2 minutes.
That's what I mean. I'm like, yeah, I could have played, a whole set in at that time.
What
But
about the pretty
so
girls? Do they still have the pretty girls?
no, they're gone. Yeah, it's I think it's Efren in a dress and Bustamante with a wig. That's it. That's all you get. No, but no, it's yeah, they got no, they don't have like ring girl. It's all on the TV and all that. So it's but it was real slow pace. But they're able to pay big money. So they have a tournament there every month. And imagine this, it's I think it's equivalent to like $12, maybe 700 pesos, 300 pesos, 700 pesos. I forget what it is, but it's equivalent to like $12 entry, 10,000 US first place every month. And they have a tournament there every month. That's anybody can enter. And then they invite all kinds of players, international guys. They have all kinds of because they have to have live matches going on every day. That's how the betting is. It's live betting. So, but these guys are getting paid good money. Like we get every day, we get paid like 5,000 to play
The
a
whole world
match.
the whole pool world is going to move to the Philippines.
They just
Dude,
keep the horses.
that
They
kid,
keep the horses running.
they got all kinds of Three Kings. They got all kinds of tournaments. Yeah, well, right when I left, I was there for like 2 weeks. Right when I left, the day before I left was um, Sanchez Ruiz, and Fedor were just arrived. They were gonna play. So there's all kinds of and then Earl was coming in after that. So there's yeah, they got all kinds. I think they wanted to do I think Bustamante wanted to do. Gonna tell them to do one. Me and Shane against Dennis and Bustamante, because when we won the World Cup in 2008, we beat them in the semifinals. So I think they wanted to like a revenge match or something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, they
That's the
pay.
World Championship teams. That's where America beat every other country in the world. Shane and Rodney, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The World Cup. Yeah, that was you represent your country for real in that one.
Okay.
The very first one in 2005 was me and Earl. We lost to Bustamante and Efren in the finals in England. That was the very first one they had. That was our first time we ever lost a doubles match. 3 years, me and Earl. We were getting ready to rob them, but then they had an audience. You imagine now we're in the UK. Every match that we played in this whole place, there might have been 5 people watching. Well, in the finals, we're playing against Efren and Bustamante. There must have been 500 Filipinos in the audience. It put Earl in a coma. Everybody's he was like, "What is happening right now?" Then he couldn't make a ball. He was like, "Come on, Earl." He's like, "What? This ain't Philippines." We got robbed. Efren shot a shot one-handed one time. They beat us 13-5, and he shot a shot length of the table one-handed. Like you know how you measure off the rail, and
Yeah.
you're measuring, and he's gonna measure, and then he just hits it. He rolls it in. Dude, they were clowning us. It was funny. It was like,
Oh,
yeah, but it was that was their first one. I think they won it again after that one time in Philippines. But
okay. Rodney, can we do this again soon?
yeah, anytime, man.
We want
Yeah,
to
I love
gather some
talking.
questions. We want to gather some questions from other people. And can you tell us a little bit more about where to get your stuff? I know there's the Rocket Science DVD if there's any left, and then there's your
Yeah,
coaching.
my website, rocketrodneymorris.com is coming soon. It's actually can be up now. I just want to get more stuff on there, and then we're gonna get we're gonna break up the chapters that's in the Rocket Science DVD. I'm gonna break up the chapters into individual chapters and put them up there for like $1.99. So in case somebody wants to watch a section, they can just click on that, or maybe even 99 cents, just something, just so people can check it out. I might do a membership based deal, but Jay Flowers is my own line of cues is out or coming out real soon. It's already done. And then Andy Cloth USA. If anybody wants, just very easy to call Mark Osborne. You can search Andy Cloth USA and find his info, I think. And then yeah, I got my I'm gonna do more videos, little more instructional stuff, more up to date stuff. And then yeah, I mean, just I don't know what I'm gonna do with the YouTube stuff. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. Stuff that people want to see. I can do it all. Tell jokes, whatever we need, dance, tap dance, whatever we can do,
like a
whatever.
movie.
I want to do like Florian did the first video my buddy did, and it's like the first time Nathan did it, they did his first video, the Venom trick shots was he did one with all the wine glasses or champagne glasses.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then I said, "Yeah, how many did you go through?" He said, "Yeah, about 5,000 glasses we went through to do it because he's shattering them in the beginning." Right? That's funny. I was like, "Yeah, I might have to do
Fill
it."
him up with red wine and see how good he hits them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was trying to do the trick shot, but I ended up drinking all the wine, so I don't know what happened really.
With the girl on the
Yeah,
table.
yeah, dude, it was such genius, dude. That was awesome, that stuff. So yeah, I might do, I might do a live deal, but I also might do a, where I do stuff and then record it and then post it. So we'll see what
How
kind of.
long till Rodney's metal building and tables are ready?
Oh, I'm hoping by December or January because we move into the new house November 15th is when we close on it, and then we move. Probably be in about 3-4 days later, and then I got to start figuring it all out. Figure out we got a huge backyard, so I'm just gonna get it set up. The man cave.
Well, whenever I'm out that way, I'm going to come interview you in person if you're available. So,
Of course, yeah. Just let me know. Yeah.
well, Rodney, appreciate you joining us today. It was a pleasure having you. Guys, if y'all like content like this, hit the subscribe button down below. Give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment and let us know how we're doing. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Pulling Around Show.
Thank you.
Bye, Rocket.
All right. Take care. Aloha.